Congratulations, you did it. I don't know how you did it, but you found a client. You found somebody who wanted to use you to help them buy a house. You know, your family and your friends, they never thought you'd do it, but I believed you'd do it. Why? Because you're resourceful. And a multitude of other reasons, you're charming. But now that you got a client, what do you owe the client? Now that you've got a client, what do you got to do to make sure that you keep one and you stay out of real estate jail? Well, as soon as you enter an agency relationship with the client, here's what you owe. First of all, you're in a fiduciary relationship. What is fiduciary relationship? When you hear that word fiduciary, relationship of trust, right? When I think fiduciary, for some reason, my brain always goes to like the financial industry. And for a long, long time, when I think fiduciary, you think of that person that's really advocating for your best interest in the financial world, right? So this is a person that you want to trust because you're giving them your resources and you're hoping that they invest them properly. That's a fiduciary. In the same way, you as a real estate agent, now that you found your client, you're their fiduciary. That means you're in a relationship of trust and you are now one. What they know, you know, and you know, they know. So think about that. That means that as soon as you get a piece of information, guess what? You got to turn over and you got to tell your client. And if your client finds out, for example, they can't buy this house, they should probably tell you that. And then you should turn around and tell whoever. You're in a relationship of trust. They move, you move. And what do you owe them? I like to use loads. You owe them loads. You found a client and you owe them loads. What does load stand for? L. Loyalty. You gotta be loyal to them. You are not playing for both teams. You're trying to advocate for the best interest of your client. Again, fiduciary. O. Obedience. You can't go against what they're telling you. You advise them if they want to go in a different direction. You still gotta obey them within the realm of law. I mean, obviously this can't be illegal. So, then A. Accounting. You gotta be accounting for their pennies and dimes. Again, the fiduciary, the financial piece. You gotta check that HUD. You gotta make sure that all of the nickels and dimes and dollars and pennies are accounted for. Because believe it or not, a lot of people skim over that stuff. And believe it or not, we're human beings and we get stuff wrong. You know? So, accounting. Then D, the D, diligence. You're gonna diligently find them a house. Whatever the contract is, whatever you agreed on, your employment agreement, you're gonna fulfill that to the best of your ability. And that comes with diligence. You gotta be diligent to discover, or as far as you could reasonably discover, any material fact about that property that might be of pertinent value and information to your client. Diligence. S, skill. Oh my goodness, I could really go off on this. Negotiating with skill. Showing them property with skill. Every element of this business takes skill. And how do you get skill? It's different than talent. Skill comes through fire. Skill comes by putting in the time, energy, and effort to sharpen your craft, to hone your craft. In a hot market, do you know how to properly negotiate that deal? In a cold market, do you know how to negotiate that deal? Once you're under contract, do you know how to skillfully work through repair negotiations? That takes skill. Do you know how to communicate effectively with another third party? That takes skill. And it's all a part of your fiduciary responsibility to your client to give them, as rounding it off, loads, loyalty, obedience, accounting, diligence, and skill. Gotta bring it. Quick bonus round, okay? This is for everybody watching that might already be an agent. Let me just encourage you. Maybe this is your first deal. Maybe this is your 50th deal. Like, what I want to encourage you with is, like, obviously, like, as far as skill goes, like, it takes years and years of sharpening that blade for it to be so sharp that you know what you're doing at that high level. So what I encourage you to do is reach out to an agent in your market, someone that you look up to, that you can really glean from the wealth of their wisdom, because there are people all around you with sharper blades, with the skill that's there at the higher level that, again, you owe to your client. So find that person, ask them the questions that you don't know, because there will be a knowledge gap and a knowledge curve. And also, feel free to leave a comment, anything that you have a question about for the next series that we put out. I would love to hear your feedback so that we can bring more value to you.